Yes, ma'am.
Also, cold cream helps.
Cold cream?
Yeah, because I have like clown makeup on, like the white ones, and it helps if you like, leave it on your face and then you wash it off.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
Pond's cold cream. I've heard that for makeup. That's good stuff. Some people recommend before you put makeup on, put on some moisturizers and things that will not only help with your skin against the harshness, but also might help stuff come off. Of course, sometimes the things you might put on that will moisturize your skin might make it harder for the makeup to stick too. It kind of depends what you're doing. I don't know how that would work with latex or not. There we go, Caro syrup. Oh, love Caro syrup. It never goes bad. It never goes bad. So, when it's on sale, pick up a bunch of it. Because it's great for all kinds of things, especially for fake blood. Food coloring, petroleum jelly. You can do some creepy stuff with petroleum jelly. Add a little bit of yellow food coloring to petroleum jelly, and you've got kind of like a nasty, sick, pus-looking. Yellow's a nasty color on skin. When you see, you're bloody, it's like, I cut myself. You see like yellow, like doctor, that's infection and all. Certain colors give us a reaction. That's something to think about too with horror. Because a lot of times the thing that really will disturb people is not the stuff you think of. Texas chainsaw, cut a guy in half. I've never seen a guy get cut in half in a chainsaw. I myself have never been cut in half by a chainsaw. I cannot really relate to being cut in half by a chainsaw. When I went to see Jackass, and those jackasses were cutting themselves, giving themselves paper cuts between their fingers. Yeah, I can see people who are like, don't talk about it. I know, because we can relate to that. A safe falls on someone's head and they squish. It's like, good special effect. Somebody closes their hand in a car door. I'm like, oh God, oh, look, his nail is coming off. I can relate to that. The things that really disturb us are the things we can relate to. So sometimes less is really more. Some of the creepiest scenes I've ever seen in movies, the most menacing, disturbing scenes are Dustin Hoffman locked in a chair while a Nazi dentist is drilling his teeth. Yeah, I can relate to that. I think my dentist was a Nazi. The last one, cold cream, translucent powder. Especially if you're using cream makeups, you put all this, it looks great, and then you see them 10 minutes later and it's all smushed, and people touch their face without knowing it, it melted, it sweated off. This translucent powder is actually a white powder. You kind of dust it on, and it soaks, the oil gets soaks the powder in and kind of sets it. So it will not keep on. It does take some of the color away, but that often works good too. It looks more like real skin color as opposed to makeup that you put on. So that's good stuff to get. Women probably already know all this stuff. There we go. Okay, so derma wax. I love wax. Wax is so cool. If you want to make a bullet wound, that's one of the things the kids always ask me about. I want to make a bullet wound. Sure. You take this wax, you roll it into a little circle, like a Cheerio, stick it on your skin, blend the edges, color the inside, boom. A little blood trickling out, it's great. Waxes are awesome for scars, wounds, big tears, chunks. The problem is this, it's wax, and this is North Carolina. And the sun and the sweat will just melt it right off. So, I was like, oh, I love working with it, but what can you do? Here's what you do. You take latex, our old friend latex, put a layer, suppose you want to do it like I've done this, slit wrist. Take a layer of latex, put it on the person's wrist, let it dry. Take the wax, roll out a nice long snake of wax, put that on there, blend in the edges, slice it down with like the blunt, with a toothpick or something. Now you've cut it open. Now take another more latex, put another layer of latex on top of that and let that dry. See, now you've created like a latex sandwich. The wax is in between the two latexes, which are not going to be affected by heat or sweat, and you've sculpted something that will be relatively permanent for the rest of the day. Then you fill it in with blood and do the makeup and everything. The other thing is wax doesn't take makeup very well as latex does. So now you're painting on the latex, not on the wax. So yeah, I've gone back to using wax like crazy once I figured that out. But I love that stuff. The one bad thing about latex though, if you have latex on your skin and you start putting makeup on it, you may notice that you can tell where the latex ends and the skin begins. Because the makeup soaks into the skin and just bounces off the latex. It's not being taken the same way. So they have this The trick is you take castor oil and put that all over your skin and the latex, let it dry for a bit. Then when you put the makeup on top of that, it's pretty much treating each of it the same way. So it will look better. Now they sell this in the makeup stores as latex sealer. And then you look on the back, ingredients, castor oil. I'm an idiot. You know, you spend $10 for, yeah. It's nice when they look at the ingredients first and say, could I figure this out myself? It's like spirit gum, which they use to stick things on, is tree sap. Okay, I'm not gonna go out and tap a tree just to get some spirit. I'm willing to pay the money for that. But castor oil, no, I'll go get a jug of castor oil and have a lifetime supply. Yeah, that was a pretty gruesome looking right there. So here's some more gelatin. So you can actually make, a lot of times when you see this stuff in the movies, it's foam latex, which is a really cool thing. They take latex, they foam it, so it's very light. They pour it into a mold, they bake it in an oven, and you get this nice appliance. You can buy these appliances in stores. They're super light, they stick on great, they move pretty well. But it's really hard to do that at home. For one thing, that oven that you cooked it in, you better never cook food in again. Your wife's really gonna hate it. It'll taste like latex for the end of time. So you need to have a dedicated oven just to cooking latex. And the latex doesn't always cook right. It's troublesome to work with, it really is. I like gelatin way better. And again, it's reusable, so I peel it off this guy's face and melt it in the microwave, put it on someone else's face. Is this gelatin fresh? Yeah, don't worry about it. You can go, if you go to like bulkfoods.com for like $25, you get 5 pounds of gelatin, which will last you a long time. You can get the knot stuff, but it's pound for pound, a lot pricier to do it that way. Also, not all gelatin is equal. Nice thing about it, no one is allergic to gelatin that I've ever met, because gelatin is skin, it's pig skin, and cow hoofs, and God knows what else. But it's basically, I don't know what's in there really. But
same stuff hot dogs are made.
It's made, it's hot dogs, sure. It's stuff they couldn't put into hot dogs. Yikes.
Bill,
Yeah.
before you go on, gelatin, another good thing with gelatin, you used it to pour down the front of a dress. It keeps a wet blood look without it actually being wet.
Very good, thank you. That's another, so sometimes you don't want the blood to dry out. If you have your blood, whatever blood recipe you use, you put some gelatin into it, heat it up and get that gelatin nice in the right amount. You've now got this kind of sticky, gooey blood, gel blood. In fact, they even sell gel blood. You have to heat it up before you put it on. And once it hardens, it looks that way forever. It looks like fresh, wet blood, and it's flexible, and it also doesn't stain very much. It will peel off of most things. I don't know if it soaks into a dress or not, but yeah, thank you for putting that up.
Put down
Right.
in front of the,
She found this one beautiful wedding dress at Salvation Army.
No, that's the one we burned.
Oh,
the
the
one,
one we
the
burned.
one you put the blood down was from eBay that had red wine stains on it.
Yeah, it had red, oh, that's right, it was from eBay. They said it has red wine stains. Not a problem.
Just covered it with gel.
But there was one we bought at the Salvation Army, and we're walking out there like, I'm sure this will be a lovely memory for you. And I have no idea.
Set half of it on fire.
Popsicle sticks are great, they're just good especially good for gelatin. Cotton, I love cotton. So, here's the other cool thing about latex. So you put some latex on, and before it all hardens up, start putting like tissue paper, cotton, thread it up and everything. Let that harden, layer it a bit, now you've almost got like a layer of skin on top of your skin. Now you take that and start tearing and pulling it, and now you've got a pot to shove some blood in there. I mean, it's great for doing wounds. I'll show you a few pictures. Latex really is good stuff. I'm so cheap. When I drive by a cotton field, it's at the end of the harvest, and there's like all that leftover cotton. I think that, don't judge me. I think the cotton straight out of the field actually has certain qualities to it that the bleached cotton you buy okay, I'm cheap. Let's see, a lot of different sources. Just do a search, and there's so much. I'll tell you one nice thing about makeup people. They're like magicians, only they share their secrets. It's amazing. If you have a question on how to do a makeup effect, go online, and folks are just giving away the secrets. It's great because it's cool to see all these people. I see that a lot with the cosplay people too.
That makes sense too.
You know, you can go online and you see some amazing thing, like I could never do that, and then people have actually told you exactly how you can do it. I love that, you know, because we all like to see cool stuff. It's not, you know, it depends on what else. Makeup, how, let's see. Okay, so I just want to say my gelatin recipe is not just gelatin and water. The way better to do it this way. Pretty much quarter cup of gelatin, half a cup of glycerin, and then a half cup of something else. Now that something else can be water, but the best stuff is sorbitol, which is an artificial sweetener. Water is okay, but water evaporates and it starts shrinking. Especially if you're making an appliance that you want to fit on and have it be the same size as when you made it. The sorbitol will do much better. It also makes it stronger, a little bit more heat resistant. But again, very important, don't heat it directly on the stove, do not let it boil, and be very careful putting it on. Before I will put on any gelatin on someone, I will take a big splotch of it and put it on my arm. If I don't scream, it's probably okay. If I do scream, then you know that person's probably running, so I have no chance to put it on. Let's see, sorbitol is a pain in the neck though, because it's so hard to find. Sometimes it's on eBay a lot, and the prices are everywhere from crazy expensive to super cheap. I prefer to buy it when it's super cheap, so it's probably time I checked it out again. You can color the gelatin by adding ground up makeup. Just take any makeup you have and add it to it, and it'll be fine. It takes away some of gelatin's translucency. That's kind of the cool thing about gelatin too. It's vaguely see-through, kind of like skin. So if you add too much, you kind of lose that. But you know, for some things that's pretty good. If it's refrigerated, pretty good. If it gets dirty, it's going to mold. Now foam gelatin, ooh, yeah, there's Shauna again. There's all my experiments. Foam gelatin, you take your gelatin recipe and add a little baking soda and something that's acid, like cream of tartar or anything really, some Kool-Aid. And you know, you were in school when they did that old experiment, the baking soda and vinegar would work, and it foams up. So you do that in the gelatin, and your gelatin gets all foamy. It gets very lightweight, and